The bald boy smeared the secret formula on the top of his head, but because the consistency was too low it kept running down his face. He hastily added a spoonful of peanut butter. The improved formula was a huge boost. 3 minutes later George couldn't wait to rinse his head clean. To his brother's amazement, George's head had sprouted roots. In between telling his father the good news, George's hair was coming out. He rushed into the house. He realized that he had a full head of blonde hair. When George arrived at school, his classmates thought he was wearing a wig, but George realized he had a serious problem. His hair began to grow wildly and indefinitely. Even his classmates began to play with his hair, and his best friend behind him had to cut George's hair while he was in class. In just half a day his baldness worries had turned into too much luxuriant helplessness. Even the food in front of him was completely obscured by his hair. At night he had to sleep with his hair hanging from a rope. First thing in the morning George has to deal with the tons of hair he's cut off. A southerly wind of 3 knots can make him unsteady, and his hair could get tangled in the branches of a tree. And George's best friend, who was secretly using the secret ingredient, was also having problems. His unorthodox hair was growing out of his trouser leg. Late at night he had an itch. The curved hairs were growing rapidly as far as the eye could see. As they watched their hairs grow infinitely, they finally came up with a great idea. George was lying quietly on the production line. This way he could supply the wig factory with a constant supply of raw materials.